What's going on? Is Anton from antondaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Hey, y'all got to stop listening to some of this music. And I don't know if it's the music combined with stuff that's going on in your life, but it was a girl that just pulled up next to me and she was playing like some miserable ass music. I want to say that it was an artist maybe that was similar to like XXXTentacion, but it was like that vibe of music. It was like that emo music. And it's early in the morning and she up there like kind of in frustration, kind of like looking like she want to cry and bawl her eyes out and stuff. And I'm like, man, I mean, I know that people go through stuff and stuff, but the music that y'all listening to ain't helping. It's driving y'all further into the thing that you probably don't want to be like. Anyways, aside from that, make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. We about to do the Millionaire Morning Show, so make sure you tap into that. And then link is in the description for Teach Hanley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off of life. Let me give y'all my quick thoughts before we actually go over a debate recap on the Millionaire Morning Show today, right? So first and foremost, I think that ABC did a miserable job, a horrible job at moderating this debate. I don't think that they could have did any worse or expectations was any higher than what they met, because they 100% was at the bottom of the barrel. It seems like, and I don't know, y'all let me know inside of the comments if the woman that was moderating the debate, the black woman, if that was the woman that Trump had an interaction with at the National Association of Black Journalists, because from the outset, it looked like she was out there to get him. It seemed like she was the one that was actually debating Trump and not Kamala Harris. And so when you seen the moderators of the debate actually participating in the debate and it wound up being like a 3v1, I was disappointed. I was 100% disappointed, because you're supposed to be impartial. You're supposed to ask the questions and then make sure you enforce the rules. The rules wasn't enforced at all. The mics wasn't muted when the other person was talking, and it was 100% chaos. And it made me realize how much better of a job CNN did. Now, I know that CNN they try to act like they play in the middle, but in my opinion, CNN is very much a liberal organization or a left-leaning organization. But they did a much, much, much better job. You can't say that they didn't do a much better job at making sure that they controlled the debate and what was happening during that time. And so with that being said, I think that they both did some things well, and I think that they both did some things that was absolutely bad. The first question that they asked her, and I forgot what the first question was, but we was actually watching it on After Hours, and so we was streaming it live and we was reacting to it live. I think that the first question that they asked her, she 100% skirted, and she didn't even answer the question. She just completely avoided any responsibility of answering that question, and they didn't press her. They didn't press her, they didn't reinforce it, they didn't re-ask the question, they just let it go. And to that extent, one of the things that Trump did wrong, in my opinion, is that he kept letting them get him out of what it is that he was supposed to do and stay in pocket. I think in the very beginning, he was very much in pocket, but then he let them continue to bait him into having conversations that had nothing to do with what it is that he was going to capitalize off of, which largely was immigration. Immigration and the state of the economy were the two main things that people are concerned about, and what he should have really hammered home and capitalized off of. And he started to do that a little bit later into it, but I could see that she was getting a little bit more comfortable because she knew what his pressure points was. She knew that if she just continued to redirect the question, and so it wasn't whether or not she could do a good job, it wasn't whether or not she was good at foreign policy, it wasn't whether or not she was held accountable for immigration. He let her completely dodge the question on the black question, which he could have hammered home. And so if I was to give performances as far as debates, if I was to give grades, I would give him maybe a B-, because I think that he really hammered home and did something good, did a lot of good as far as highlighting how well he did during the time that he was in presidency. And then also in his closing remarks, when he was saying stuff like, well, listen, and it was great that he was able to go last, because he was really, really able to really hammer home this point. And he said, listen, if she's so great, if her policies are so forward, If she's so awesome, how come they didn't do it over the last 3.5 years? What is it that she's going to do any differently than what she's doing right now? And he hammered that point home, and he also hammered her a little bit more on immigration, not as much as I wanted him to. And he also hammered her on foreign policy and the fact that we were in these proxy wars. And so I think that he did some phenomenal things, some great things. But at the same time, I think that he got distracted. He could have absolutely got an A, but I think that he did more of a B- performance because it was some things that he missed, and he didn't capitalize off of realizing that. I mean, I'm sure he realized that it was a 3v1, but he didn't capitalize off of the fact that, you know, it was some things that she did and she should have been forced out of pocket. But instead, he focused more on the fact that they were distracting him as moderators than what it was that was really important as far as to the voters and the people that was watching. Now, on the flip side, I think that she did some things really well, and then she did some things bad. Number one, she did a lot of word salad. Because she didn't absolutely have the answers. And I can already tell that a lot of the things that she was saying was already scripted and it was already pre-planned. Number one, she says some of the same things at the rally and she never go off script. And so that was one of the things that probably worked in her benefit also, because she was also able to, and this is another good thing that she did, she was also able to effectively deflect away from the things that was really meaningful. And so when she was able to deflect, then it took the pressure off of her for being accountable for some of the things that they did. For example, immigration. Another example, how bad the economy is. Another example, how it is that we in these wars, and he absolutely caught her up. He caught her when she was talking about how she had met with Zelensky, and this was prior to Putin invading Ukraine. And then Trump caught her. He said, listen, if this was me, similar to the fact that we wasn't in any new wars, we wouldn't be in this stuff in the first place. And I could end this because I'm good with both of them. He said Vladimir Putin is the one that endorsed her recently. And he highlighted that right after she would meet with leaders, as far as having a conversation, that Vladimir Putin immediately invaded. And the fact that they had no dialogue with Russia in the first place in order to prevent this war, because one of the things is not about whether or not, you know, America needs to defend itself, but the fact that we got a bad deal in NATO. And then on top of that, the fact that Americans don't want to be in war in the first place. You see what I'm saying? And so when we have these conversations, and again, I think that ABC did a horrible job, because like for example, when Trump brought up what was going on recently in Springfield, Ohio, and it is people on the ground that could substantiate things that are happening, similar to what he was describing on the debate stage, he let the moderators of the debate, well, I can't say that he let the moderators of the debate, but the moderators of the debate 100% derailed the conversation by trying to fact check him in real time, when in reality, you can't dispute what it is that people are reporting on the ground. And so it was some things that was happening, there was some things that was playing out that I think that could have been way better. I would love to see this debate on Fox News, and I would love to see Fox News be impartial, or even go back to what CNN was doing, because CNN did a better job. But it was absolutely a horrible, horrible situation. I think that we could have did things way better. And I'm also looking forward to the debate between J.D. Vance and Tim Walz. I think that's going to be really, really entertaining. So anyways, those are my thoughts in general, in a summary, in a nutshell. I'd love to get what you guys think. Make sure you tap into the Patreon. Again, link is in the description. Also, Teach Hanley, 40% off your first order plus 20% off for life. Make sure y'all tap into the Millionaire Morning Show. We're going to do a recap this morning. And life is good. Life is awesome. Things are going well. I love you guys. I appreciate y'all. I think that y'all are the greatest audience on earth. And again, stay away from that crazy music, all right? Got some new announcements that's coming up, things that's really, really awesome. I'm going to holler at y'all later. Peace.